Well, I guess it kind of fits. I mean, I'm the tallest linebacker and probably the most lanky one, so uh, I mean, it fits, I guess. So I can't complain. I personally kind of like it a little bit. So
I think he said they felt like they kind of found a diamond in the rough. Somebody that people didn't know about when they brought you in. Did you feel like maybe you were kind of close to being a scholarship guy right out of high school, or?
no, I mean, coming from 8-man and then going to 11-man and playing D1 ball is a pretty big jump. So I can never expect anything. You just got to go in there and work your hardest every single day and do what the coaches ask. That's the biggest thing. I mean, having him as a coach and having the older guys that were above me, kind of taking them under their wing right there, that just helped a lot. Learn a lot from them, and he really wants to Coach Avalos really wants to put in the time to make you succeed and make sure that you can reach your potential.
How'd they tell you that you got the scholarship, and what was your reaction?
Well, it was after spring ball, and I think it was the last day. We had meetings, we have evals with Coach Harson, and so I went into my eval with him and started talking. And he was asking me a bunch of questions about like my summer job, if I was going to work anywhere and everything. And I told him that I was a river guide back home where I live, and I'd probably be going back like on the weekends and doing that and stuff. And then right when we were about to get done, he said, "Well, you aren't going to have to be driving home every weekend and stressing yourself out with that because we're putting you on scholarship." And I just didn't know what to say after that. Yes, I went kind of blank for 30 seconds, and he was like, "Well, what do you think?" And I think it's great. It's a great opportunity, but still got to do what I've been doing, just working as hard as I can and not taking anything for granted.
So you skipped the river guide?
Yeah.
Yeah. Weren't the rest of the linebackers like outside the door or something?
Yeah, so I didn't know it, but we lifted that morning, and Coach Pitt told all the linebackers to stay after the lift, and so we got done lifting, and we were all waiting there next to him, and he's like, "Vander Esch, you need to get out of here." And so I kind of stood there and hesitated. I didn't know what to think, and he's like, "Get out of here." So I didn't know if I did something wrong or something, so I left, and then when the meeting was over with my eval with Harson, he walked over and opened the door, and they were all out there, and they came in and gave me hugs and everything, so it was pretty neat to see all of them there.
What has enabled you to make a fairly seamless transition from such a hard jump from 8-man to 11-man in high school to college and do as well as you've done?
I think just kind of having a chip on my shoulder. I mean, coming from a small town and everything, a lot of people will get the stereotype that you aren't going to be able to go as far, I guess. And just my parents and my dad and my older sisters have always pushed me to just be my best and to not take anything for granted and work your hardest every day and do what the coaches tell you, and things will go your way.
How much change have you undergone in the last year? I mean, from 8-man football to moving to Boise, to really kind of get to play a new position. I mean, it seems like you might have had to go through more, putting on 25 pounds or whatever. You might have gone through more change than anybody in the last year in terms of on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it was a process. I mean, it was a year of growing and putting on weight and just learning the game, learning the 11-man game, and obviously that takes time, and I'm still developing, and I'm getting more intelligent, and I still have a lot of work to do. Have to keep studying and keep working on my technique and everything, playing physical, but I feel good. My body, I've grown just a little bit, and I've put on a lot more weight, so playing the position that I'm playing, come from high school, I was just over 200 pounds when I came in, and now I'm 235. So putting that extra 25 pounds on I can definitely tell it's a huge difference playing and going up against a lot bigger guys here in D1 instead of the little 8-man football guys that you can just run around or whatever. You really have to make sure you're on point and just as big as them.
Was it recruited you? Did they say anything to you about, hey, if you perform well, you may have a chance at a scholarship, or was this totally a surprise to you?
Not really. They didn't really give any hints or anything. It was just, I just knew I had to come in here and try my hardest and just do whatever they told me to and find my role wherever they wanted to put me. Just not complain. That's the biggest thing. Just not complaining or anything. Just putting your head down and doing it. Doing whatever they asked you to.
Was there much debate about what position you would play, having done so many different things in high school? I mean, was it obvious linebacker was the fit, or?
Yeah, I think linebacker was the right fit for me. It's grown on me a lot now that I've been in the system for a year and kind of learned the system of the 11-man game and getting bigger and everything. It definitely has helped. So I think I'm right where I need.
You got a pretty good group of veteran guys there to kind of lead you along. What has it meant to have, some of those guys that played a lot of football kind of bringing you along?
Well, the older group that we have, I mean, we're deep at linebacker, and we got 4 or 5 older guys that are there, and they want to see you succeed too, just like they are. So following their footsteps, doing what they do every single day, just following them, taking their advice, not blowing them off. That's the biggest thing when you're young. You have to look for that person or the veterans that you can just tuck under and stay under their wing, and just so they can teach you and show you your kind of ways. So what you need to do to get better.
It's often from high school to college, it's the big fish in the small pond, or the other way around. But you probably took that to the extreme because you was such a big star in such a small town, and then go to a walk-on here. What was that transition like for you? Just dealing with how much different your status had changed.
I think just the main thing was just staying humble over it all. Come from a small town and doing the things that my team did, that my team and I did in high school. I mean, now it doesn't mean anything. That stuff was a world to me when I was in high school. But now, as soon as I graduated, I just had to forget about that and just start over. It's just a new beginning, and that's kind of what I did when I came in. Just did what I had to do.
I know you said that it's kind of, when you come from 8-man football, people might label you or whatnot, but do you feel like, do you take pride with fulfilling the role that you're fulfilling in this program? You look at a kid like Matt Paradis, 6 years ago he came here as a walk-on from 8-man football, and now he's projected to be the starting center for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're kind of carrying on a tradition there, maybe?
Yeah, well, it's funny because we actually play his hometown in our league council, so we're like 45 minutes from them. So we play them on a regular basis in our season, and we played them in the state championship football game on the Blue my senior year. And so it's kind of a coincidence, but I don't know, I'm proud to take the role coming from a small town and just doing whatever I have to do, pleasing people, and pretty much just getting the job done when I need to.
Was it hard to put on that much weight for you?
Well, I think just listening to Coach Pitt and everything, I mean, he's all the coaches just saying you're going to put on weight and you're going to get bigger and you're going to develop more when you get here. And that was the biggest thing, just pushing myself in the weight room and doing what he told me to do. Got a lot stronger, and I feel like I was just taking jumps every week, just getting stronger and better and moving and everything. I feel way better than I did coming out of high school. I mean, I'm quicker, faster, stronger, a lot bigger. So, and I'm still developing too, so I guess we'll see.
Did you work out much in high school? I mean, I know typically in tiny towns, like you have a gym there. I mean, at least a big gym there. You might have something at the high school, or?
We barely had a weight room. Our weight room was probably 30 feet by 30 feet, so it wasn't very big. I mean, we had the basic stuff in there that we needed to do, and we had the equipment that we needed, but it wasn't really pushing myself in the weight room when I was in high school as much as it is now. But I can definitely say that I didn't lift as much in high school, and I think the part of it was that I grew a lot in like my early years of high school, my freshman and sophomore year. So I guess it was kind of hard for me to lift like a lot because I was just growing so fast and developing. I knew that once I was done growing and everything, and even when I talked to Avalos and Coach Harson when I was on a visit here, they said you don't need to worry about lifting and pushing yourself and getting that much like into the lifting in high school as much as some people do, but just because when I get here, I'm gonna put on weight. They said I'm gonna develop more, so They said to just focus on whatever sport you're playing, because I played basketball too. Just focus on that, and once you get done there, just turn your eyes here and come here and do what you got to do. Put on weight.
When you were in high school and coming down here for state championship games, when you looked around, was this where you wanted to be for college? Did you want to play college football here?
My whole entire life, I've always wanted to play college football at Boise State. I watched them when I was little in the Fiesta Bowls, and just watching them on the big stage from Boise. I live so close, 2.5 hours from here. It was just surreal when I actually got the opportunity to come play here. So it was pretty special.
You know, Andy said he's really counting on you for some special teams this year. Is that really kind of your focus this season, to get out there and see what kind of impact you can make there? Yeah,
I think that's going to be my main role this year is special teams, but pretty much just wherever they need me. I mean, if they need me on defense, they need me at linebacker, I'm going to be there. I'm going to push myself, keep studying film, and just keep developing myself. And if they need me there, I'll be there.